Alright, today we are going to be completing pages 3 and 4. Make sure that you fill out your table of contents page and fill in the page title as points, lines, and planes. Remember today that at any point, if you need to, pause the video, take your time to fill out your notes, and then go ahead and continue on with the video. Alright, let's turn to page 4. And make sure that you title your page Points, Lines, and Planes and include your page number. We're going to start on page 4 today. So points, lines, and planes are considered undefined in geometry. That means that they have no definition because they can really only be explained using examples and descriptions. So let's talk about what that means. Let's start with a point. So when we're talking about a point, we're going to model it by drawing a dot and a capital letter beside it. So when we draw points, they don't really have any shape or size. We put the point there to describe where we're talking about, but it really does not have that shape and that size. We're just using that as a placeholder. We can describe this point. So if we're going to talk about this point, I could say P, meaning that point, or I could say point P. All right, let's go on to talking about lines. Lines are drawn with an arrow at each end, meaning that they're going to continue even though I've stopped drawing this line on this paper. The arrows are really telling us that that line is going to continue on and on and on and on and on forever. We're going to name the line either by using 2 points or with a lowercase letter. So this line, we could name it either as line AB, and notice that we use the arrows on the symbol when we're writing line AB, or we could write line M because I chose a lowercase m to describe this line. So a fun fact is that lines don't have width or height, they only have length. So this line is going to continue forever and ever, but it doesn't actually have any width to it. All right, and our last undefined notion is a plane. Planes are always drawn using 3 points. So this plane has the points X, Y, and Z in the plane. To describe the plane, we always use a 4-sided figure. So here I've drawn a parallelogram to describe our plane. We can name this plane either with 3 points, the points X, Y, and Z, or with a capital letter. Notice that this letter S does not have a dot beside it. That means it's not naming a point, S. It's naming this whole entire plane as plane S. So planes will go on and on forever in both directions, but it does not have any height. So this plane is sort of lying where my paper is. It's going to keep going forever and ever and ever, both in every direction. But it does not have any height. It's not coming up off of the paper. All right, so one thing to remember, we're going to add in an extra note on our page 4, that 2 points, anytime we have 2 points, we can connect those 2 points with a line. So any 2 points will always define a line. And if we have 3 points, we will always be able to define a plane. So anytime you have 3 points, you can connect those 3 points with a plane. All right, so let's go ahead and get our notes taped in. I would suggest that you tape this green set of notes into your notebook along the left-hand edge and just put in 2 small pieces of tape along the left edge, and that way we will still be able to open our notes up and see what notes we had written underneath. It gives us a little bit extra room when we are doing our notes. On page 3, you have some practice problems that you're going to complete on this page, so go ahead and complete those problems and then tape that sheet onto this page 3. That is the notes for points, lines, and planes.